Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Looking for the best pool supplies? Look no further than Dohany's Pool Supplies. With a history dating back to 1967, this family-owned business offers everything families need to keep their pools clean and sparkling, from chemicals to equipment. Plus, customers enjoy free shipping on all orders. Visit Dohany's Pool Supplies today at doheny.com, DOHENY.com, to learn more. Forest Bluff Real Estate Team serves Illinois, Wisconsin, Lake Forest, and Lake Bluff. John Josephitis, Laura Lee Van Fleet, and of course, Michelle Parnell. Get a free market analysis now at forestbluffrealestate.com. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Havy Communications has been helping first responders arrive safely since 1983. It's owned by Lake Forest's own Mike Havy. Check them out at havycommunications.com. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters: Matt A., Elizabeth C., Costa, Lance, Otto, RDM, John C., and Helen. Shout out to the Lake Forest Breakfast Group, Broad Stop and Captain Mike's in Kenosha, the Greentown Tavern, and the Frolic Lounge in Waukegan. How you doing, boys?
Good. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today, Pete?
That was a great interview with the great mayor of North Chicago.
True gentleman. What a gentleman.
Yes.
Great guy.
Very successful. I mean, he's really been mayor for a long time. He's brought, I think, a lot of stability and progress to North Chicago. Been a great leader for them.
He's been going strong since '89. I mean, that's huge. And then for all you, I say guilty people. Well, I feel guilty and I got to do penance. I want to get a hammer. I want to go help build a home. So Matthew Holmes, Joe, who do we have on for Matthew Holmes?
We had Dr. David Weil from Christ Church here in Lake Forest. It's a great program. I'm going to try and carve out that day. Right here. And I encourage everyone, I don't care what religion you are, what church you go to, or synagogue or mosque or whatever you do religiously, go to this event if you can, because it's really going to make a difference. As I said on the interview with Mayor Rockingham and David Weil, a rising tide lifts all boats, as John F. Kennedy said. And so when we help our neighbors in North Chicago, we're helping Lake Forest.
Do we have the date, time, and the location?
He said it in the show.
Or how to sign
up right here. Watch the show right here.
Pete will put it up there for us.
Very good.
All right, so I got a few things here. You've been talking to our loyal listeners and watchers throughout the week. One of them was Shelia Henretta, who had a little beef with yours truly. Shelia, well, she was the past president of the caucus, and there's no list of past caucus members by date, so I can only go by what people send to me. The reason why her name came up was somebody sent me a message that back in 2016, she was the president of the caucus that changed the bylaws that caused this backdoor for Prue Beidler to come in. And I would like to say that Shelia and I have talked, and I was
you can say it.
I was wrong. It wasn't Shelia. It was Chris Collins, not the Chris Collins, but
here's Chris Collins.
Oh wait, hold on. That's Siri. So Shelia, my apologies out to you for that. But Shelia, if you would have come on in the first place, which she said she's going to come on the show to clue us in on what was going on back then, because I don't think there's really any secrets here. Just like with our boy Anthony Vega, Vince Vega. All the conspiracy guys came out because we worried about the venue being moved from Lake Forest to Vernon Hills. I'm sure there's no conspiracy with the caucus back then, but we want to know what's going on. We want to have volunteers. But Sheila, I asked you a long time ago to come on now, and you didn't come on. So I had to deal with other people, and they gave me the wrong information. So mea culpa. Rick, was that a sufficient apology?
I like the apology. I think it's very, yes, I think so. After all, we can only say what we know. I know all the times that I'm wrong. I tend to just forget about it. But fortunately, my wife remembers each and every one of them for me.
All two or three of mine. So what we need is Chris to come on the show. I don't know what people are afraid of. One of the things Sheila told me, and I don't think this is talking out of school, is people are worried that after they come on the show, we're going to talk smack on them. No, we'll talk smack on you during the show.
Yeah.
I mean, all you have to do is
When
go
you can
back
just-
and look at the podcast we did with Anthony Vega, the Lake County clerk. All right. We had said some stuff. He came on, set the record straight. We had a really good time. He's our buddy. We love the guy now. So
Well,
come
love's a
on.
strong word, Joe, but we understand the situation.
We have high respect for
Yeah.
Clerk Vega. And we have high respect for anyone that comes on the show. And I think, you know the numbers better than me, that between all the different platforms this podcast is on, there's a lot of people watching or listening to the podcast. I get people telling me that they either watch it on YouTube or
Facebook.
or Facebook. They listen to it when they're driving, or one person told me they listen to it when they're out exercising. So I can
We do have faces that are made for radio, so yeah, listening is a good option.
I can't wait till we turn ourselves into cartoons. But I do have some notes that have been sent in to me. Our loyal listener Brian sent me, and this is the last time he's going to send this in to me. We've had a lot of rainy weather, and he has sent me all of the sports fields closing. Brian, I hear you, buddy, and we're going to get that new field in there soon. So I guess his kids play lacrosse or something, and every time that there's a rain out, he sends me a notice. So,
and I got, if we're going to air letters, emails, or
go right ahead.
From people, I got one. Let's just say it was from Barb. And Barb said, want a topic? People just got their tax bills. My friends are asking, is this it? They say what we were told as the $1,000 increase per million has arrived. Question, is this it? Did they tax us this fast for this? And I think they're talking about the Lake Forest High School referendum.
Yeah, no.
I think it has to be that it takes a while for that to set in on your tax bill.
Well, they have to, among other things, they have to actually borrow the money.
Yeah, it's coming.
Referendum.
Barbara, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming, but hasn't arrived yet. That's in addition. This will be in addition to whatever bump you already got.
Taxes never go down.
They never seem to do that, do they?
Unless we elect
never see that.
Ronald Reagan cut
temporary tax increase.
Long time
temporary.
ago.
The only change is temporary becomes permanent.
Unless people come out and vote. Anyways, I digress. Leaf blowers.
Yeah, Lake Bluff has banned the leaf blowers. It's this is we'll see how well that's going to work this summer. You got a lot of landscapers out there, and I don't know how effective. I had an electric leaf blower at one point. It was not very effective.
I got a guy that when one leaf falls on his damn patio, come on, dude.
Yeah, but I don't think a government ordinance is the answer to that. I don't think you can regulate common courtesy.
But people are talking about it. People are pissed. It's like, what do you do? It's if you got the noise, and then you got these lawns.
I don't think it's a noise issue. I think it's a climate change issue. That's how it's been discussed.
No, well, hold on. I'll tell you what the issue is.
Gas powered as opposed to electric. You can use the electric.
I think it's okay. That's what the environment. That's what the outliers say.
And maybe a noise issue as well.
It's somebody doing it at like 7 a.m. Okay, number one.
Well,
The
there's
number
always
two.
been regulations about time. I think that Lake Bluff's always had these. I think Lake Forest does as well. You can't do it in the middle of the night. I mean, there
Well,
are.
Yeah, I think a time restriction is reasonable.
Yeah, and I think it's been in place.
But
for many
I'm
years.
against banning stuff. I really am. I think, first of all, government has a very bad track record when they ban things. Go back in the history of things and how well, but particularly at the local level, as you said, a lot of people use landscapers in the area, and it's going to cause a lot of confusion. This came up during the mayoral election because of a question at the candidates forum at Gorton Hall, and there was a different answer by Randy Tack than there was by Prue Beidler on this in terms of whether or not it should actually be regulated. At the end of the day, and I've told the story about there was a legislator from Glenview who had proposed a statewide ban on these, and then just a few weeks later, someone snapped a photo of landscapers at her house using the gas-powered leaf blowers, and suddenly that bill went away. I think that, as Randy said on our show and in the candidate forum, is Mayor Tack now, the marketplace is going to correct this. You're going to see the technology evolve to where people don't want to use the gas-powered ones and they prefer the electric ones. Let the technology work itself out. Again, you can regulate it on if the noise is a concern. I think a certain operating hours is a reasonable thing, and maybe Sundays is always a tough one because it's a day for families, but it's also a day a lot of people do their yard work.
Yes.
But that said, I just think banning stuff, it never works out. And
I didn't say banning. I'm saying
I'm
saying it's a pain in the ass, the sound, and then number two, you got all
go
these
somewhere else.
landscapers.
Go to Duffers.
Well, but you got all these landscapers with their trailers, and we got skinny roads. You can't get around. It's getting blocked. That's what the people have said. All right, so we addressed it. Even worse than leaf blowers.
Cart Corral.
Oh well,
Let's get on the Cart Corral. I was walking by the Jewel yesterday, Pete, and I see 5 different carts out there on Western Avenue on the sidewalk. Yeah.
We're gonna.
I'm starting to sign on to the Cart Corral bandwagon here.
I think everybody signed on except for Jewel Corporate, which is Albertsons in some other states. So now I think the ball's in their court. I mean, Kathy Zerniak has probably spent more time dealing with you on cart corrals than she cares to admit.
I don't.
The store manager over at Jewel has dealt with it.
She passed it on to corporate, and we're going to give her a check.
It's going to corporate to Albertsons. I forget what state Albertsons is in.
So
but we got to get, and I don't know why they wouldn't, because all their other stores have it.
Yeah, I swear you see a Jewel any
Libertyville, the Jewel in Libertyville has it.
All right, going on to the next one, Ward 4. Anybody live in Ward 4?
No.
I guess they got crappy cell service out there, so we need a what's the cell service like in Ward 3?
Mine's good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
all right.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I think Ward 4 is kind of
our aldermen take care of the cell service.
Yes, exactly. Era's done a good job. He's made sure that we get good cell service.
He's out there right now working on the tower.
But
him and Preslack.
So has Knollwood got to put up the tower, or?
Well,
I'm just saying.
Remember, Knollwood doesn't actually exist. I mean, Knollwood is just a name for an area. There is no town of Knollwood.
Okay.
No village government of Knollwood. There's no.
I need a course on Knollwood because I moved here and
an unincorporated area between Lake Forest, Lake Bluff, and North Chicago, and now Green Oaks has moved its way from the west to Knollwood, such that it's just an unincorporated area and just a name for it.
Is the McDonald's on Waukegan Road in Knollwood, or is it in Lake Bluff?
That's in Knollwood. The whole north side of 176, all those restaurants, Silo and all those places, Denelli's, those are all Knollwood. They are not in incorporated Lake Bluff.
So there's no municipal tax.
Is incorporated Lake Bluff. Target's in Lake Bluff.
Like the Bahamas of Lake
businesses.
Forest. So the other thing on the list is, Rick, maybe you'll know, do we need a new public safety building for our first responders out there?
There was some controversy recently. They took down and disbanded the Knollwood Fire Department, which was a volunteer fire department, and instead have contracted with Libertyville. Libertyville's got a fire department location right there on Atkinson Road there, very close to the area. And so Libertyville is now providing the fire. As for the police, it's all Lake County Sheriff. Maybe we ought to have Sheriff John Eidelberg, one of Clerk Vega's allies, come on, actually former employer, come on the podcast and talk about police protection in Knollwood. It's a constant issue. You know, what happens is when there's an actual crime there, and it has happened a number of times, it's Lake Bluff police that show up because they're closest.
I guess the message that I got here is the where the coppers go in Lake Forest, next by the school there, I guess that building's kind of crappy. I haven't been to the Pokey lately. I'm working on it, but Rick,
there are a number of people who would like to see you there. Yes.
Take a number. But our first responders, good old coppers out there, we got to get them a nice joint. I don't know if it's good or it's bad. I have a note here. It may come up.
That's not a bad topic. It's a pretty old building that the police are located in. Maybe we ought to have see if we can get Chief Waldorf on. He's a member of the Rotary Club. We're just talking about the Rotary Club. You may be willing to come on and talk about their needs.
Well, it's when people understand what the issue is, just like Exhibit B and Matt Montgomery. I don't want to digress, but I got a lot of, that's a hell of a pay plan. Whoever cut that deal, genius, absolutely genius.
Matt Montgomery, come on the podcast. We'd love to talk with you.
Come back on the podcast.
He's coming. We'll host it.
What?
We'll host it so that he's.
I'll just put a cartoon smiley face of me and I'll mute, and you guys can do it if he comes on.
You guys are talking about municipal government. I don't know if this is my segue to Lake Forest 101.
Yeah, please.
Isn't that one? So, if this shows up with my background here, but when I went to the ward meeting a few weeks ago, Ward 3, Alderman Goshgarian and Alderman Preschlack, one of the things they mentioned in there was there's these some seminars, I guess, for lack of a better term, that the city is hosting called Lake Forest 101, where it's a 4-week course on Lake Forest city government. It's on Tuesday evenings. This past Tuesday evening was the first class. They did it at the so I enrolled. I'm trying to learn as much as I can about Lake Forest. And I enrolled, and they had a very nice binder that hopefully is showing up here.
How long was it?
It was about 2 hours. And each week they cover different topics. So this past week they had Jason. How do you say Jason's last name? Wicha?
Wicha, yeah, Wicha.
Wicha. All right, I'm sorry, Jason. But Jason did a great job giving an overview of city government, of the council, the mayor, the whole basic city structure, the history. And then they brought in Kathy Zerniak, and all the great things I said last week about Kathy, I'm going to double down on. She went through the whole process of how everything gets approved and the different commissions that it goes through, and if it goes through this commission or that commission.
Why can't we record that, Joe? Like, how many people?
Funny, because I got there a few minutes early and happened to chat with Jason. I said maybe I should have brought Pete with this.
As his eyes roll back.
Yeah. he said, yeah, with the on-air sign around his neck. But it probably would have, as Mayor Randy Tack said on one of our podcasts, municipal government is boring. So this was, while they did a great job covering it, let's be honest. I mean, this is, municipal government is boring, but it's important.
Well,
So
if it's 2
I,
hours, you're only checked in at 20 minutes at a time. My point is, hey, Kathy, come on, we're buds now, as always. Come on, and let's do a little, a little class here.
I don't know. There's 3 more weeks of this, so I don't know if it will take people if they miss the first week for the rest. But you just Google Lake Forest 101. It'll take you to the City of Lake Forest website. See if you can sign up. And they're going to hold these in the future. I think they're going to do it annually, is what Jason was telling me. But if they host in the future, we'll try to bring it up. But if you see this, I would urge everyone
just run
to
the
sign
Zoom
up
call
for it.
there and just record it, even if it's not shown here. Put it up there.
You know what though? I had multiple people. There were I want to say about 20 people there. It was at the senior building. Was it Dickinson Hall, which is a beautiful building. First time I've been in it. Come up to me and say, "Hey, you're and I like what you said about this or that." I mean, you've got some
and Pete's a jerk.
You've got some viewers there, bud.
Okay. Well, sorry guys, but somebody's got to go out and earn a living.
Oh, that's it. All right,
very unfortunate thing.
Yeah, that's all right. We're almost done here.
Okay.
You can drop out anytime.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye, Rick.
Bye.
So if Ward 1, I couldn't go to Ward 1.
It's the same time as the caucus vote, right?
Yeah.
But there were people that they voted at the caucus thing and then went to the ward meeting. It was right down the hall. But you were busy recording. You were, your glory with the on-air sign around you.
Yeah, I was. But they should run a Zoom meeting on that. I know, past COVID, we want to get everybody together, but now you're going to have Jason's time is valuable. I don't want Jason getting burnt out, but continually, going over the same stuff. It'd be kind of nice to have one for each ward and bring everybody together. But end of the 2 weeks, I think, Joe, is we have the opening of the Memorial Day. I think we're opening the beaches, so pay up for your sticker now. I think it's it's a little bit more now. Fix it to your
between that and the dump, it's worth every penny to have that sticker on your vehicle. So and the weather was nice, at least for a while this past weekend. I believe my daughter went with her friends out to the beach. So it's and they've done a lot, when I was a trustee back in the day in Morton Grove, we never had to worry about a beach. So that's a whole other responsibility that the city has. There's the beach and the walls and all that stuff. So more power to them, but it's an absolutely beautiful asset for the city.
And then the summer camps are coming up. So we'll put a little something up here for the summer camps to check them out. Joe, you got anything else, buddy?
No, I think, like I said, Lake Forest 101 is great. I just a couple people mentioned how I plugged Hometown last week, and I'm sorry Rick had to drop off, but Rick was there and apparently ran into all the soccer moms in town at lunchtime there. So, but I just want to say this about any local business. If you know a local business, if you own a local business, come on the podcast. We would love to, and I know Pete, you've done it in the past, featured some, but our community is really important. There's a lot of great assets here, not just in government, but in our local businesses. And I'd love to have your local business come on and let's showcase what you do and plug what you do, because every dollar we keep in Lake Forest is less dollars we need in property taxes.
$25 that supports this show is the best money that can be spent in this city. Joe Weiss, thank you for coming on the Lake Forest Podcast.
Thank you.
Over and out. Bye. The Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Looking for the best pool supplies? Look no further than Dohany's Pool Supplies. With a history dating back to 1967, this family-owned business offers everything families need to keep their pools clean and sparkling, from chemicals to equipment. Plus, customers enjoy free shipping on all orders. Visit Dohany's Pool Supplies today at doheny.com, DOHENY.com, to learn more. Forest Bluff Real Estate Team serves Illinois, Wisconsin, Lake Forest, and Lake Bluff. John Josephitis, Laura Lee Van Fleet, and of course Michelle Parnell. Get a free market analysis now at forestbluffrealestate.com. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Havey Communications has been helping first responders arrive safely since 1983. It's owned by Lake Forest's own Mike Havey. Check them out at haveycommunications.com. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters: Matt A., Elizabeth C., Costa, Lance, Otto, RDM, John C., and Helen. Shout out to the Lake Forest Breakfast Group, Broad Stop and Captain Mike's in Kenosha, the Greentown Tavern, and the Frolic Lounge in Waukegan.